Running a brokerage is hard work, so whether you're focused on building your own sales pipeline, hiring the best agents, leveling up your team's production, or protecting the culture you've built, you're in the right place. Real estate brings the challenges, and we share the solution. Welcome to the show dedicated to broker entrepreneurs. Welcome to the Brokerpreneur Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Brokerpreneur Podcast. I'm Dr. Ben Spears, the Doctor of Flow. I'm here with the big guy as usual, Matt Vibe. What's up, Matt?
Man, living the dream. Living the dream. How about you?
Yeah, man, it's just so good. I love everything that's going on. Had a great Father's Day.
Yep.
Yeah, happy day after Father's Day to you,
Yep.
man.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. What are we talking about today just a little bit?
So we know
Is it real estate related?
it is going to be real estate related. I
Okay.
think we're going to go ahead and go real estate related.
Yeah, let's
this
try
time.
something different.
I got you. So we're going to talk about, everybody's feeling the shift of the market, right? We
Yep.
talked to a bunch of different brokers. We got masterminds and stuff and everything. So we're getting to hear from a lot of people. Market's shifting. We knew that it would, right? We're there. It's shifting pretty quick. And so how do we keep our staff engaged whenever that's happening? Because if you keep your staff engaged whenever that's happening, their transactions are going to keep going. They're going to have co-ops. You got reason to do your reach out and recruiting. All of those things keep blossoming from that if they're productive. If they're not productive, everybody's just sitting around wrenching their hands together.
Yeah,
and that isn't the culture you want. That's
yeah,
right.
that's exactly right. Guys, before we dive into that, for sure, make sure wherever you're listening that you hit that follow button, that subscribe button.
And you hit the
Matt, go ahead and hit the silent button on your phone. Mine's probably. I'm looking at mine over there across the studio. Mine's probably going to let go off here in the next 5 minutes. But make sure you hit that follow button, that subscribe button wherever you're watching. Remember also that every single Friday, and the links to all this kind of stuff's in the description below. Every single Friday at 12 o'clock, we have the Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society.
We've had some really good ones lately.
We have had some really good ones. This is just where listeners of the podcast, as well as any other broker that wants to attend, it's absolutely free, can come. Matt and I are there live. It lasts about an hour, 12 to 1.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you have to stay that long.
Right.
But you can hop in and out however you would like. But we just talk about anything recruiting, retention, agent productivity, anything about scaling a brokerage. We answer your questions. And if you just come and you're like, man, I'm crazy shy, Matt's always got a topic. So you don't have to worry about that as well.
Yep.
We would love to see you guys there. Register for that in the description below.
Yep.
So, Matt.
Yeah.
Just going straight to the bare bones for a second. Define staff in a little sentence there, and then we'll move on to the next point.
Yeah. So we're talking about your real estate agents, how to keep them engaged.
Yep.
Okay. And then we also want to keep, the reason why I use staff instead of agents is we want to keep the people at the front desk. We want to keep your accounting people. If you use VAs, whoever it is, we want to keep all of them engaged in what's going on. A shifting market, they're not as busy as they were and everything. They start wandering. Sometimes they'll get on Zillow and start looking at properties and everything. And then sometimes they'll go on Indeed.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, so we want to keep them engaged.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it can be like a domino effect.
Oh, yeah.
It only takes one person to really start getting worried about something and then go tell somebody else. And then it just goes and it goes and it goes. So
the password is panic.
Yeah, exactly. So tell us, how do we prevent that from happening? How do we get them engaged? And I've never owned a brokerage, so it's up to you, man.
All right, gotcha. All right, let's start with trust, okay? And so everybody's going to say, oh, my staff trust me. They love me already. Okay, I get that, right? But it's like a bank account. We've talked about that before. If you're not making the deposits, right, when it comes time to make withdrawals, there's nothing going to be there. That's right. So we have to keep working on building that trust with them. Okay. Now, some of the times building that trust is listening to their ideas, right? So go to your staff, okay? And let's talk about your support staff, your administrative staff, your marketing people, your whoever you got. Let's talk about them first, and we'll talk about agents in just a second. But you walk in there and market's a little slow and you catch them playing solitaire, right? Or whatever. Right. Yeah. Okay. Minesweep. That's right. That's old school. That's like Pong.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So you walk in there and you're like, hey, the market's shifting. It's a little bit tight and everything. And don't go in there, panic in your eyes and go, my God, what are we going to do?
It's shifting. Everything's a little bit tight. Nobody freak out.
I'll be under the desk.
I'm not going to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do.
Right. That's right. But go in there and just say, hey, we know the market's shifting. We've got a little bit of spare time on our hands. We've talked about other things that we can do. Does anybody have any ideas of things that we could do that could shift and change and make things a little bit better? Or how else can we support the agents? Or what can we do? Is there training that you need to do? Go in there and get some ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, don't go in there and say, like I said, don't do the panic thing, but also don't go in there and say, okay, we're going to change everything. What do y'all want to change first? That's not the approach that you take. You're going in there and just getting some of their ideas. A great thing to do would be after you have that conversation, ask them, just email me that. We're going to take a look at all of this and we'll figure out where to go from there. It doesn't matter whether it's a brand new staff member that's just started with you a week and a half ago.
Yep.
Or if it's people that have been with you for 98 years.
Absolutely.
Doesn't make any difference. Ask them to see what their opinion is. Okay. That's for staff. That can build a little bit of trust with them. Now let's talk about your agents. The same exact thing. Part of building trust is just being straight up honest, right?
Yeah.
Are you having conversations with your agents on a regular basis? And those conversations you're having, are you talking to them about what they're going to do to make themselves more sound, for lack of a better way of putting it, in this market?
Okay.
Are you asking them? Are you having those conversations? Are you talking to them about it? If not, be careful, because somebody else might be.
Oh, they are.
Okay. And so trust is that time to sit down and say, so tell me, I looked at your year over year, your things are down just a little bit for you. I want to make sure that you're doing as much business as you want to be doing. So first of all, are you putting as much effort in? How's that going? And just have a very honest, very candid, very direct conversation with them and basically say, I see where you're at. I see you, right?
Yeah.
What can I do to help? What can I do to get things? First of all, are you on the path you want to be? And if not, what can I do to help you get on path?
Yeah, no, I like that. One of the ways as far as getting someone to go from, oh man, I'm really just focusing on what's going on right now, I'm being reactive, I'm not being proactive, is with your staff, with your agents, setting goals, and even down to personalized goals with people, and then measuring that as you go, keeping people forward thinking versus, man, what's going on right now that could be painful maybe in their business.
Have to set a schedule.
Yeah.
If you're a broker and you have, again, staff, so your agents and your employees, we'll call them W-2s and W-9s, however you want to put it, do you have them on the schedule to talk with them on a regular basis?
Yeah.
2 years ago, a year ago, you might not have had time for that. Okay. A whole different conversation. Okay. Right. Maybe you didn't have time for that. Okay. You do now.
Yeah.
You most likely do now. Okay. Yeah. And if you have some time now, I would really strongly suggest that you spend it on making sure that everybody has a similar goal. Open up those lines of communication, start talking to them, start seeing what's going on with their business, ask them what's happening, ask them what's going on with their family, ask them what their long-term plans are. Are they on track for that? Have those conversations. If you can put this to bed early, my phone is just tearing it up over here. So it's a new phone, and so there's 12 different ways you can turn everything down. There's notifications and whatever.
Dude, you're popular. I get it.
It's haunting me, man. Now it's getting a little ridiculous, right? Yeah. It's like there's a button.
Tammy.
Right. Oh, yeah, she's burning it up. So, but go ahead and invest that time, right?
Yeah.
Take a minute, step back, and invest that time into them and make sure that they're on track. If you do that now, man, that's going to go such a long way with them. If you're listening to this podcast right now and you're telling yourself, I know this already, and you're thinking about reaching for that button to hit pause or to hit next episode. Or whatever it is, or go listen to some other podcast, first of all, don't do it. Yeah. But secondly,
hey, Dr. Ben here. I hope you're enjoying this episode. If sometimes you feel overloaded or alone when it comes to building your brokerage, I want you to know that we are here for you. There's so much support available to agents, but hardly any dedicated to brokers. I want to personally invite you to schedule a complimentary strategy call where Matt will help you build a 3-step profitability plan that will immediately produce results. This is not a sales pitch. There's no obligation. Simply click the link in the description below. Now let's get back to the show.
I don't give a crap if you know it. Are you doing it?
Yeah.
If you're not doing it, it doesn't matter that you know it. This is the time to set aside what you know you're supposed to be doing, set that crap aside, and start doing it. Start acting. If you are not acting, if the market gets any tighter, which it looks like it's going to, you're going to have big problems. You start losing staff, you start losing agents, all of a sudden there's blood in the water.
It's too late at that point.
That's right.
Yep.
You don't get to turn that back at that point. Yep. And so taking a close look at all of that is a super smart thing to do.
Yeah, people are like walking out with their box and their cactus. And you're like, wait a second, let's do a coaching call.
That's right. Too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, that prickly pear is gone.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
And another thing I want to add to that too is, because a lot of times, we talk to a lot of brokers, obviously, you see them and they're like, man, I'm just busy all the time. I'm all the time busy. I think if you were jokingly saying 2-3 years ago, that you may have been busy, right? If you find that this market, and if it's Market's just absolutely killing it where you are.
Yep, love it.
More power to you. We absolutely love that. If by some chance you're in this majority where the market is slowing down, but you're still finding yourself being, I'm still just every second of every day is a fire or something I got to do, or my schedule's just completely packed. Man, take a step back and look at that schedule.
Make sure it's IPA, man.
That's exactly right. Well, tell us IPA. I know it don't mean what I think it means.
No, it's not a pale ale. Yeah. It's income producing activities. Are you focusing on those income producing activities? Are you focusing on the things that you need to be focusing on? If you're not, let's put it this way. Are you as busy now as when your revenue was twice as much? If so, something's wrong. If you were as busy now as it was when you had twice the revenue, something's wrong. So make sure that you take a close look at that and you're spending time where it needs to be spent. And I would suggest communication and investment in staff being a big part right now. Yeah.
It's easy to fill your schedule up with things that prevent you from having to do the things that you don't like to do.
And look at it like this, right? When you were busy and your agents were busy and the checks were coming in regular and everybody was just humming along, right? Nobody kind of expected you to slow down and have that conversation.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when they're not busy, man, sometimes people are going, okay, what's the reason why I'm not busy?
Yeah.
A lot of times agents will just automatically assume it's my broker. It's the decisions I've made. I can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. They hear all that all the time and everything, right? Okay. So absolutely there's truth to that, but that doesn't mean they need to abandon your brokerage to get those different results. You need to have that conversation so that they know that you're part of the solution. So,
Yep. If we're looking and we're talking about building trust and we're talking about having a schedule and actually meeting and making sure that we know exactly where each one of our agents and our staff members stand, sometimes that can get caught up in, okay, what's going on here?
Yep.
You still have to find opportunities, even in slower times, to make things exciting, make things fun. Show that, hey, my culture isn't shifting into a all hands on deck.
Right. No panic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to do fun and exciting things with them. Before we kind of go into that, let me say something else that will hopefully help. Go back and take a look at your probably March to August or September of 2020 income. Go back and look at that. How far away from that? How far away?
Brokerage revenue?
Brokerage revenue.
Okay.
Yeah. Your total income. How far off of that are you right now? Meaning, hopefully, a lot more people. There was a couple of states that did really well, but for the most part, everybody else is really struggling right now.
Yeah.
So how far off are you revenue-wise? And did you build up a bunch of expenses at that point that over a 2-year period, the market turned good and everything, all of a sudden you got a lot more expensive and you started sticking your neck out and all that kind of... All right. So now are you that far off what your income and expenses were at that time period?
Gotcha.
So don't play catch-up.
Oh, yeah.
At that point, nobody was expecting a pandemic. So it took everybody some time to roll back their expenses and get acclimated to what was going on and everything. So it took them X amount of time to do that. Then the market started to go up. And when the market started to go up, the expenses started to trail behind that. Everybody played catch up on their income a little bit. And then when their income caught up, they started thinking about expansion and doing, right? And so they started doing expansion. And all of a sudden their income was going up and their expenses were going up and everything. Do not get caught on the other side of that. We have the signals now that things are going to tighten up more.
Yes.
Okay. And if they do tighten up more, don't get caught not ready for it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to be given the same permission that you were during the pandemic. This is just going to hurt.
No, absolutely. Right. Yeah. And we talk about this on Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society. We definitely talk about different strategies that other brokerages are using and what's winning in their area. And of course, we have so many free things for you guys that hopefully can prevent this from coming to you as well, from agent efficiency guides, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But,
so we started talking about fun activities. We started talking about having a good
fun
time.
activities. That's what made me think about Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society.
Yeah.
What can we do? What's fun, Matt?
Yeah. So get together, right? You can get together. You can have some conversations with people. You can do some fun stuff. It doesn't have to be you spending $8 million to do it. Okay.
Yep.
Go do some fun things. Figure out what it is. You don't have to have everybody there to do it. Don't think that you have to have a total company party in order to do it. Invite everybody and just appreciate who shows up. Be grateful for who shows up.
Yep.
It's a recruiting opportunity. Have some of your agents invite other people, all that kind of stuff, right? But just find something fun to do. Go play disc golf, right? Go play cornhole or whatever it is. Go horseshoes and whatever it is. Go out there, be active, be connected, talk, go play golf together, whatever. Gary just went with a bunch of his people and played golf, which was super cool. Figure out some of the stuff that is just enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like an arm and a leg.
That's right.
So many different things that you can do to just build community and build culture.
Absolutely.
That costs next to nothing.
That's right. And people can pay their own way. You don't have to. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
And so figure out those fun things to do. Have a weekly Zoom call that's just pitching everybody's new listings, or they call it pitch and bitch, right? You ever heard of a pitch and bitch?
I have not, but I have now.
So people would go on and they would pitch the property and everything, and then they'd talk to each other about the difficulties they were seeing in the market and kind of spitball how to get to the bottom of some of those things. Have some of that. Enjoy it, basically. Have a good time.
Yep. Those are the things that I like the fun stuff.
Yeah. Not me. I like to just get back to work.
Yeah. I don't want all the panic. just nothing but the fun.
Right.
I can handle that. That'd be my kind of brokerage.
Gotcha.
Awesome, Matt. We've talked about building trust. We talked about schedules. We talked about having fun and doing exciting things within your brokerage as well. Is there anything else that, in a tough market, getting your staff engaged, that you want to talk about before I put a little bow on it?
Yeah, in my opinion, this is what we do with our community. I think you need to have things always constantly moving in a certain direction that people can be part of.
Yep.
Okay. And a couple of things. A perfect example of that, right? We have a LinkedIn group. And the LinkedIn group, if anybody's part of it, or we've got an event that's going on with just go to my profile or your profile. And
sure thing. Yeah, I'll tell everybody how to get to that at the end.
Yep. And they can be part of that LinkedIn. We're going to talk about, it's 1 hour, it's absolutely free, and you're going to be able to just go in there and we're going to talk about how to hire 5 people in 30 days.
Yep.
Okay. And so it's not what you think it is. Okay. I talked to somebody the other day and they were like, I don't want to make 8 million phone calls. I promise you're not going to have to make.
Yeah, we don't either.
Yeah, that's right. We don't either. That's right. We're going to talk about how to get that moving and create some momentum with it if that's what some people need. So there's that. And then we also have the Sphere of Influence Challenge coming up, right? If anybody's interested in that and they want their office or whatever to participate in the Sphere of Influence Challenge, give us a call. We can talk you through how to be part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, we appreciate you so much being here. The LinkedIn event that Matt was talking about, just go to Brokerpreneur Coaching on LinkedIn, and there'll be a tab for events, or you can just go to our recent posts, and you'll see multiple posts there as well about it. It's called Hire Five Agents in the Next 30 Days. Super easy. You could even search that on LinkedIn if you needed to. If you want to reach out and you do want to talk to Matt or myself, gosh, in the link in the description below, there's the thing that says schedule a strategy session. Just click that. We can talk about whatever. We can talk about the Sphere of Influence Challenge. We can talk about the new Brokerpreneur Hub, whatever, as long as it's real estate related.
Yep.
Matt, if you, my friend, are watching this,
right,
or listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or Deezer, make sure you hit that follow button.
I will.
Okay. If you're watching us on YouTube, hey, Matt,
hit
that red subscribe button and that bell right beside it. You get notified every time we drop a new episode. There's no better time than the present than to go to brokerpreneurpodcast.com. Check out all the cool things that we have there to help your brokerage no matter what stage or phase of the business that you're in. Matt,
yep,
we do this for one reason and one reason alone. We bring on amazing guests just like me every episode for one reason and one reason alone. Tell them why that is.
Man, we just want to be part of your win. See ya.